Hello everybody, my name is Benji, and welcome back to Mindustry, where today we're going to be picking up pretty much exactly where I left off. There's been a little bit of time between, but we're going to start off by ripping all of this out because I realized it's gross and I don't like it. I know I said that when I first unlocked the titanium belts, but this has its own secondary purpose as well. We're making room at the bottom for a blueprint. And I know what you may be thinking is, why do we need a blueprint? Question mark. Why do we need to have a blueprint specifically in this area? Question mark. Why didn't you just do something beforehand? Well, it's because of the fact that we did not have the technology that I wanted in order to actually start the blueprint process for this very specific blueprint that I want. So we're going to go on ahead, first of all here, and get a couple of belts merged together, like so. And we're going to reduce it down to 3. And then we're going to do the same thing here, except that's going to be a blue belt. And then that'll reduce it down to 5, like this. And then this last belt is actually going to run up here and do that, because I don't really need the lead anymore. I've got these guys, and they're doing it for me. Speaking of these guys, that's what we're doing. We're making a blueprint that involves this very specific core right here. It does not have a middle point. It is 4 blocks wide. You've got to be kidding me. Actually, there's a silver lining to this. So with the unloader will take whatever item from the core that we want to take, and then it will put it into both of these guys to make the unit that we want it to make, as you can see here. So now that we have that, we can save the schematic as what we said here, the Genesis launch. So Genesis launch, and yes, it does already have a name. Yes, I do want to go on ahead and, you know, actually replace it, because this will be our new thing that we use to launch into new zones. Now, we're not actually going to launch into any zones as of yet. First, we're going to unlock the Stellar Furnace and the Ton Forge, because those are both super important, and I want to get to know them. So here it is, the Stellar Furnace. 3 per second titanium and some astrolite. Astrolite is from coal, 1.5 per second. This makes 3 per second of astrolite, so let's go on ahead. Let's move somewhere with some free space. So 2 of these can be run by 1 of these, which can be run by 1 and a bit pressurizers. So what I might be able to do is a design like this, perhaps, and then go on ahead, grab ourselves titanium, and then have coal go in the top, right? And then we can grab kind of the same design that we have here with this thing for the titanium input. So we'll need titanium going in, and then the other stuff coming out. We're obviously going to want an underflow gate junction route for the titanium. And I'd like the titanium to be able to go in either side without modification, so we'll just do that. And then we can have this output. I guess we'll just leave it going to one side. And that'll be our output of the new stuff from the stellar furnace, which is the stellar steel. And then we'll go on ahead, we'll place down 2 power nodes in it, and that will be our stellar steel recipe. So let me grab this, save schematic, stellar steel, MK1. Cheap on power, by the way. Very cheap on power. Good to know. So that requires coal and titanium in order to operate. It just so happens that I have a location up here that has both of those things and space. So stellar steel, here you are, good sir. Just get bonked on down. Connect you into the main grid, like so. And now I am going to leave it unpaused. That way we can actually have production going on in the background. And we can try to just have it like this. I think this will probably be fine. And we can just go on ahead and have it like this. I don't see any reasons why that would have issues. And then we're going to grab kind of the same thing with the titanium, but I know that the titanium is going to be hungry for this process, judging by the looks of things. Astrolite, super easy, super cheap, super quick. No problems, no questions asked. Titanium, on the other hand, seems to be a little bit more of an issue. So we're going to try to make it not an issue. Emphasis on the word try, but we are going to try to make it a non-issue. And stellar steel, new content unlocked. We're just going to bring it over here, and I guess we can probably just bring it straight down. Either that, or we can bring it down and over. That way it kind of comes into the same realm as the silica input. And this is gonna suck to run. So what's the problem here? Titanium throughput? Well, that's gonna cause router passback, so we don't want that. That's not gonna help throughput. There is another titanium node down here that I could try helping the throughput with. And we can just see if that'll help the throughput at all. I mean, I know it will, I just don't know if it's gonna need it or if that's enough. It looks like that's enough. Yeah, it looks like that's enough to get roughly 10 per second. So that just unlocked something. The stellar steel. I know for a fact it unlocked something. Yes, it did. There it is. Genesis Nexus. Titanium, stellar steel, metaglass, and astrolite. And astrology. 660 power units per second. Oh my gosh. 3 per second, 20 damage, frag, 80, homing, freeze. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Anything else get unlocked by that? Well, the Retusa got unlocked because it's, we captured this zone. Same thing with the Plastanium compressor. It's because we captured the zone. Same thing with the pulse conduit. We captured the zone. Wow. Alright, so I want to see what that new core is all about. But we're also going to need to wait and see what the ton compressor is all about, the ton forge. So I'm just going to hang around. I'm going to unlock a couple of things and let it AFK for a bit, unlock a couple of things with the titanium. We're going to fuck around with the ton forge afterwards, and I'm definitely going to put some more titanium into the system just to make sure that it's proper throughput. And I will be back once I have some findings. Alright, we just unlocked the ton forge. I went on ahead, I took a look at everything, and it requires silica, titanium, and lead as its inputs. I'm not going to mess with trying to have, you know, sand and coal being input into it to make the silica directly and all the stuff. When I already have a silica blueprint that works perfectly, I can just plonk it down just like I do with the fuser ovens and the... I'll get it eventually. Altuxium ores. I really don't feel like it. So, wow, big boys. Holy mother of big boys. Okay. We're just gonna do two. Two of these guys. Is it 4 wide? They're 4 wide. So we're just gonna have underflow gates like this, just like we always do for triple inputs. And we're gonna have these guys, and then we're gonna input from the one side, put down a power nub, connect it in, grab our titanium, or not our titanium, rather our lead, and we'll input the lead actually from both sides, just kinda as is currently. Once we have plastanium conveyor belts, it won't be as big of an issue for this. And then we'll do that, and then we'll grab the silica from over here, route it all the way down, go on ahead and make sure that there are proper junctions in place for everything, and then just build the suckers. And yes, the suckers are very titanium heavy, very expensive. What do these things even make us again? They're slow, too. These guys make us osmium. Lovely. So now we have osmium. And I can put this on the belt that I got rid of, because I got rid of a belt of titanium because we ran out of titanium nodes. Everything's being used. The thing is that it's said to have... Oh no, it's 1.4 per second lead. Never mind, I completely overestimated the amount of lead that it needs. Now, it does need a lot of lead, but not that much. So we can actually go on ahead and probably just do 2 more of these things. And then we'll make this the osmium MK1 design. And we can just modularize it like this if we ever need more. But it looks like that might be close to a full titanium belt. Not quite. I think I would need 2 more for it to be a full titanium belt, but... Ha 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 ha. We're only going to be able to get 1 more in here because of that one little drop of water. Oh well, that's fine. No worries on that one. So there we have it. We have osmium now. What did osmium unlock for us? Lake. Fires energy tridents. It's the same, but different. Did osmium unlock anything? No, not by the looks of things. Yes, it did. Here it is. The Helixian Reconstructor upgrades otherworldly units into their second tier. So we need the Elysian factory to make the challenge and the disrespect. Or the challenge, rather. And then we need the Helixian Reconstructor to make the disrespect, is what I'm assuming here. And then the Genesux factory would make, like, the Majoris. Or the Orion, rather, the Genesux. And then the Helixian Reconstructor would make the Galileo. That's as I understand it currently here. These all require silica and titanium. This obviously is going to require silica, graphite, lead, osmium. So osmium is the main ingredient that we're missing there. We've got plastanium at our access currently. We would just need oil, and that's only achievable via spores at this point. I don't really feel a need of doing plastanium at the moment. I think this is the next thing I'm going to shoot for here, is the Genesux Nexus. Genesis Nexus, I think, is the next thing that I'm really going to shoot for. That and the astrology seems pretty cool. And then other than that, I guess we just continue on with the units. But in order to continue on with the units, we're going to need more of our titanium friends here. Which I think I honestly might just do this. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. And yeah, it's gonna end up really sucking the life out of all of these, but whatever. It's fine. It is absolutely fine. I am not worried in the slightest. But look at these things. These are so cool. The ton forges. All the blocks have such a really good, unique design to them. Like the stellar furnaces, everything just has a really cool design. I really, really like the design of everything with these guys. Like, it's really, really cool to see, I think, in my opinion. I think it's really, really cool. Now, as of now, I have no reason to launch osmium or stellar steel. I do have a reason to launch titanium, though. So as we continue into our new territories, which we could do salt flats, but that's enemy base, and I don't want to fuck with an enemy base until I have more modded units, because I've done salt flats with default units, and it's awful. I hate it. It's going to need to be its own episode. I don't have time for that right now. Coastline and Stained Mountains, either or, I think would be fine. They're both pretty uneventful, so we're going to go for the Stained Mountains. And we're going to edit our preferences to have 1,000 of that. And let's do 500 of each of these. Just because, why not? And then we are launching to whichever one this is. I forget. Yes, the Stained Mountains. This one is actually eventful, now that I remember properly. Uh-oh. Oh, this one's bad. This is the first place that we see a fortress. Oh, this place is bad. This place is really bad. Or not a fortress. It's a tier 4 of the rain path. the dagger, the rain path. Yeah, and the launch zone is so stupid. Oh no, what have I done? What have I done? Oh no. So this place sucks. Just gonna put that out there. This place is awful. That's a terrible coal spawn. This is a terrible spawn in general. Yeah, this is just awful. This is just awful all around. All around, horrible, terrible, very bad, not good, not okay. I'm not okay. And here we go. Okay. So, game plan. Game plan. I'm getting myself psyched out. Game plan. Game plan is strong defense after primary resource extraction. I'm going to get power online. We're going to get monos. The monos are going to mine resources for us, so we don't have to tap either of these resources raw. Secondary objective. Tapping... Come on, there's another coal. Tapping this coal up here. This one for early game graphite. This one for more permanent graphite, I guess. Probably end up using laser drills in order to actually extract that. Tertiary silica over here. Definitely going to need to move over here, grab silica. Probably going to tap this titanium, maybe a little more of this titanium in the process of moving. There's some coal here, very inadvertent, but yeah, these guys, silica, no doubt. Eventually, we're probably going to want some vulcanite and some ultruxium. It's going to be really easy to get astrolite. I could probably just get some astrolite from one of these after using some silica. Maybe even repurpose this one. Secondary power station. Probably going to end up being this dude here. There's some water here, so this guy for some more power is going to be him, his problem. And yeah, we'll move from there. So that's the game plan. I'm going to get working on it. I'll update you as you need to be updated, and we'll just see how it goes. See you in a bit. I did go on ahead and opt to do the Mark II at the beginning here, just because of the fact that, like, it's not that hard to do, and it doesn't require all that much power, and I can very easily upgrade my power system here in just a moment. So I just have infinite graphite already. We're set. Moving on. Okay, so it's been a bit of time, both since you've seen me and since I've seen Mindustry, but we have everything completely up and running. Kind of like I said. At least, sort of. We have a little bit of power generation here. Obviously, it's not great because it's still using these pneumatic drills, but I just didn't feel like ripping it all out and being stupid about it. We do have lead. Not lead. We have lead and sand making metaglass here. We have titanium here. We have this stuff, the vulcanite and the astrolite and the graphite, all being produced from this coal node. We have the iridium valvanite stuff being produced down here at these two nodes. We have more titanium coming in. Yes, I did say that right. Titanium coming in. We have silica combining with copper to make the ultruxium. Got that name right. We have the stellar steel down here with the steel and the astrolite being produced from the coal. We have 2 belts of silica being produced here, another belt of silica being produced here, which goes into the osmium, which we actually have just started the osmium system. And we have some more power generation up here, which we will probably end up needing to buff pretty soon, if I had to take a guess. Because we're moving on now to defense. We're only at wave 9. It's been a lot of work for me to get to this point, but not a whole lot of time, like in-game time, thanks to the fact that I can actually build super duper fast. I have some wall, like, borders already prepared, And we're going to use the bosons and the stellars in combination with one another. We're not going to use the astrology because lots of power, but we did unlock it. So we're going to have the bosons, and we're not going to have water cooling for... Well, actually, yeah, we can have water cooling for it. So the way that this is going to work, in my mind's eye here, is that we're going to have the two belts of items in the center, like here, running up them. In a perfect world, this will work wonderfully. And then we're going to have the water coming up along the front, and then also along the back. Just kind of doing this sort of maneuver. That way they all get themselves some fluids, but then they also all get items. So then obviously we're gonna have to do that, and we're gonna have to have these in exchange, and then we'll have to figure out a way to have as limited of router passback as possible. And that just looks like it's not gonna want to work for me. But that's okay, because in that case I can literally just get rid of a space in the center, and then that space will actually be good. Good is a relative term, don't yell at me. Follow the same pattern here. And then we can put menders in the center, like this. And then obviously we can have power running up the back. And then we can do the same thing with the water here. So that's the defense. I just wanted to give you a quick little rundown of the defense. We're going to put that here, we're going to put it up here, and we're going to put it down here. And then obviously we're going to grab the water from down here. There is a little bit of coal there, but I think I might use this coal vein over here. And then we have copper and lead to make the valvanite in order to power the bosons. And yeah, that's literally it. That's all there is to it. These are hungry boys. Look at my lead count go down. And my astrolite count go down as well. Those didn't reach because I placed them on the wrong pixel. And of course as well, they don't actually reach the things themselves, unless they're right on it. There! Now it's nice and pretty. And I'm gonna go on ahead, I'm just gonna copy this and paste it to each one of these things. You guys don't really need to see that, so I'll be back. And just like that, defense is tentatively finished. The only thing that I can really see happening that's gonna sort of help us out a little bit in the long run is upgrading our astrolite production, because as you can see, our astrolite production is just ever so slightly pathetic. And that's because of the fact that I did end up just using both of these for now. And I thought about possibly doing a loop where I take, like, the astrolite and then I turn it into more graphite and then I turn it back into astrolite like I had talked about once, but I don't feel like it. I really don't feel like it. Yeah, I really don't feel like it at this point. I'm just gonna go on ahead and take a hit to my power grid and then have to upgrade it. But essentially, just to give you a tiny little peek again into the design process of all of this stuff, I literally just run a power cable to a factory, then I grab, let's see, It's going to be 1.2 and 1.4. Well, hey, guess what? That's exactly enough for 2 pressurizers. And 2 pressurizers is basically good enough for 2 of these things. And you know what that's good enough for? Me. That's good enough for me. That's perfectly fine by me. Only issue being bad belt placement. And run it over top of everything. A little bit of spaghetti around here. Just a touch. Not too much overall, just a little bit of spaghetti. It's fine. We're fine. Oh yeah, and this kind of sucks, doesn't it? Man, the difference water makes. It's a real shock, honestly. Like, water makes all the difference for some of the production in this game. Because it's like, I put down 2 buildings, and I'm like, okay, so yeah, these 2 will be able to run, you know, everything that I could ever possibly need. And then they just suck without water. Where the hell are those guys coming from? Seriously, where the hell did those guys come from? They're coming from, like, way up in the corner. That's usually where the aerial units come from, I suppose. What's a good anti-air turret? Let's go into my research here. And take a look-see. No. 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 Honestly, it's probably going to be one of these guys. Was it this? Targets air, targets ground, power, energy stars. 3 per second. Frag. Target air, target ground. Let's do that. Astrology. Let's do some astrologies. There, astrology. I don't know, let's just grab 3 of them. And then plug them into some water, because that's gonna help us. I'm out of astrolite? Seriously? I mean, I get this isn't producing a ton, but like I had a second one, didn't I? Thought I had a second one. I guess that's the only one that I've got. Wow. I didn't realize how bad my astrolite production was for like my home base. I might honestly upgrade that. Yeah, I really should. I should really upgrade that. Right now, though, I'm going to focus on my power grid because, yeah, my power grid is absolutely taking a hit right now. What's your problem? Now my osmium's not flowing. What the hell? That worked close enough, in my opinion. No, I didn't want you there. I wanted this there. That way I could upgrade that just a little bit. There. Just to make sure that everything is wired properly. Yeah, everything's wired properly. The issue now is the fact that I don't actually have enough coal going into that system to fully saturate everything. So I'm gonna have to add in... Ah, fuck it, let's just put 2 rotary pumps here because we can. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I unlocked the rotary pump. That's a vanilla block. and it essentially just produces more water and requires power. That's it. That's all it does. Alright, and then with that done, this can come over here. Spaghetti and meatballs. There. Perfection. And how bad is it getting enemy-wise? It's just daggers still. I can handle it. So that should help with my power. I never actually finished the belt. Well, you know, that'll do it. Titanium is the thing that's currently holding me back. Titanium and osmium are the two things that are currently holding me back. I really want this next turret, and it next core, and that requires a buttload of titanium. But hey, there we go. It is all done. I want to see the bosons in action, so let's see if we can take a look. Yeah, they spawn way up there. Yeah, look at them go. They fragment too. That's nice. What is going on up here? What are you doing? Somebody tell me what your problem is. I also want to see the astrology spire. What? Is it getting stuck on the wall? No, that's just what it shoots. That's odd. That's an odd turret. I don't know how I feel about it. That's a very odd turret, and I do not know how I feel about it overall. So I think I'm gonna grab more titanium because I can. Like, the titanium is here. It's free. I just have to actually tap it. And then once I tap it, it's mine. So, essentially, I need titanium. Why would I not tap titanium, you know? Except that sucks, so I don't want to do that. I'd much rather do this instead. And then boom, now I have 2 belts of titanium. Like that. Yep. We should see my titanium spike. I'm just gonna go on ahead and start fast forwarding through waves. No aerial units on this one. Oh yeah, those are strong. Those are very strong. The piercing effect that they have is fantastic. I'm loving it. Still no aerial units, still just a bunch of daggers. Wet. That one had some air units. Didn't look like anything got in trouble while I was watching. More daggers, no air units. Odd. I want to see how these guys work when there's actual air units involved. More daggers. Here, I want to see if these home. They do home. Okay. So they do home. Now, the other issue is the fact that those... Whoa. Those keep getting destroyed. And I'm tired of having to manually rebuild them. So we're going to go down here and we're going to place one of my favorite blueprints of all time. One of my favorite things that I've ever designed. It's not super efficient, but boy, is it fantastic. And we're going to get rid of this so that I can actually place it. That was an instantaneous deletion. Right there, by the way. Just putting that out there. Just putting that out there. Why do I not have the space for this? Fine, we'll do that. And then we'll reroute this. We'll do this. There. That's fine. And I don't need that. I just need it to make the drones. I don't need it to make the monos. I need it to make the polys. And then obviously, yes, it does need power because it's making me drones. And I don't have an overdrive dome or an overdrive projector. That's what that red thing was. That red thing was supposed to be an overdrive projector. Essentially, it just makes buildings faster. It's probably in the research somewhere soon. We're getting close on that extra core, so we'll be able to have a core upgrade, though, of course, that's probably going to take Astrolite, which means that I'm also going to take an overflow gate and then bring in extra stuff. My dogs are going crazy upstairs. I don't know if you guys can actually hear that, if it bleeds through the mic at all. But my dogs, very specifically, my Puggle, is going absolute batshit crazy right now. And I am actually going to move those over one, because Metaglass is not that important, and I don't want it mixing on my belt. See? Sand. Gross. Sand is gross. I don't want it. There. We have a poly. Now that we have one poly, if anything gets deleted, we will see that poly go running all the way up to here, and then fix whatever got broken. So let's just start chilling and watching. Flares. They're all still dying very quickly. Here we go. Yeah, see how much damage that just did? Here they come. Here they come. And repaired. And they will actively move toward the core, away from the launch zone, whenever new enemies come in. Like, they actively move away from enemies. They're very, very smart AI. And for that, I give them a lot of respect. Guardian approaching in 5 waves. Did they changed the Guardian for this? Bro, this used to be so much harder. Because the Guardian I just saw was the tier 3 of the Nova track. But it used to be the tier 4 of the Dagger track. Bro, that's... They made it easy. Oh, look at all the crawlers. Those crawlers would have been bad news anywhere else. Guardian in 2, yep. Still no flyers. Guardian in 1. And then here come the polys again. Our Mr. Fix-It drones. Yeah. Yeah, it's the tier 3 of the Vela track. There it is. Huh. That was easy. Sector captured, new stuff unlocked. First of all, new core. Fantastic. Second of all, nothing else. Just a bunch of stuff that still requires titanium for me to actually unlock. Let's try the Genesux factory first. Because now we have the Genesis factory. That means that we can do the stuff like the Orion and all that stuff. And I kind of want to see what those units look like. Because we have the Genesis factory, Majoris and Orion. And then we have the Helixian Reconstructor, which gets us a whole bunch of stuff. Ooh, new music. Alright, I'm also going to wait until we have enough for this. Wow! That thing's huge! Wait, 6,000 titanium? I can't do that. I don't have 6,000 titanium to store. Maybe with container editions I do? Because I've seen people do this before and I didn't know if it actually worked. It does. It does work. That boosts my max capacity. Man, why haven't I been doing that before? Now it just seems silly of me that I never did that. Alright, we're gonna save up enough to build this thing, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like once it's finished. Which means I'm gonna try to boost this production, and I'll be back. Okay, we have enough materials now, so let's check out new core. Obviously going to immediately tank our stuff. However, I took a look in here. This has a max of 5,000 items, and it has a max active units of plus 12. This has 19,500 and a max unit count of plus 30. Plus 30, that's insanity. So I can have even more drones, I can have more polys, and the thing that we're all waiting for. Holy shit. Wow. Wow. Let's take a look at this unit. So it's... which one? Twinkle Starlight? I think that's this one. The defender of the Genesis core, equipped with gunner and a shield to help it defend its core. So yes, correct. No flying. Build speed 560 versus the Twinkle 419. So even bigger. Can mine thorium. 50 damage, homing, freezing. Huh. Talk about a crazy unit. Look at this guy. That is insanity. And I love it. I love the insanity. I embrace the insanity. And look at this core. Genesis Nexus. That thing is insane. So I could do just Genesis Nexus as a core launch. And then that'll just be a core launch. Like, brr. Gone are the days of these. They no longer matter. The same with this. That's gone. I'm just gonna sort through everything here and see if there's anything that I can really get rid of. I am gonna get rid of the plastanium and the oil because I have a better idea that I've seen before. I'll keep the impact, blast, crucible, cultivator. I'll actually get rid of the cultivator. I'll keep the graphites just for when I do like vanilla playthroughs again. Same thing with the kilns, but I might make them better. I'm gonna get rid of the melter because no need. Phase I'll keep I'm going to get rid of this because we already have one. I'll keep pyrite. I'm going to get rid of the sand because I can do a better one. I'm going to get rid of this because I can do a better one. And I can't get rid of this, but I'd like to eventually. Wow, that's nuts. So next up on the chopping block, we actually have a couple of options. We've got 4 zones to choose from: tar fields, salt flats, which is an enemy base, all ground units, tar fields, which gives us access to oil and thusly easy plastanium, fungal pass, which is a threat medium enemy base, and coastline, which is a water-based map, which gives us access to the naval fortress. And a couple of other things. Extraction outpost is locked behind Nova Research, and it has an enemy base. So I think I'm honestly gonna go for Fungal Pass next time around, but we're gonna be going through the tech tree a little bit more, and we're actually going to, that's new, we're actually going to unlock some more of these things. Mainly, we're going to unlock these extra factories here, like the Elysian and the Quantra, and the Solron, which I could apparently just already unlock, that's fine. On the Retusa as well. That requires thorium, so no. Plastanium, so no. Nova, Pulsar, go on ahead and grab both of those. And then we don't quite have enough for the multi-press, but later on we will, and then all of this as well we'll need to do. So next time around, we're going to be going for coastline and dealing a little bit with that, because yeah, it's a water-based map, so there's going to be water, and it's going to be fine. And then after that, we're probably going to go for Fungal Pass, just because it's medium. And yeah, that'll just be that. So that is going to be it for today. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Mindustry. But without further ado, adios, sayonara, au revoir, hasta la vista, das vidania, wiedersehen, ciao, and goodbye. Please have yourselves all a fantastic rest of your day. Get some sleep if you need to. Don't forget to stay hydrated. This video is in the bag, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later, y'all.